Right then, so basically, right now, all of the boxing world knows about at the press conference, Keyshawn Davis called out Berinchyk for being racist and apparently sending him a package of bananas and watermelon and a racist note as well that was said. But it wasn't actually Berinchyk, it was Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez exposed himself on social media for it. But I want to say as well, Teofimo Lopez kind of framed Berinchyk as a racist there. And I don't think that was Tio's intention to, frame Berinchyk. But, it was like said on like live television in front of the whole boxing world that Berinchyks a racist. Berinchyk and his team are a racist when they are not. Teofimo Lopez is the one who sent all this, but most people, I mean, people who haven't seen the apologies and all that, and people who haven't seen Tio's Instagram or Twitter, they'd still think it's Berinchyk and they'd think he's a racist. So Teofimo Lopez kind of exposed Berinchyk. It wasn't his intention. He probably just wanted to mess with Keyshawn Davis and be a scumbag while doing it. Either way, though, you've got to feel bad for Berinchyk 100% because he was made to look a fool out of on live television in front of the whole boxing world for something he had nothing to do with and knew nothing about. So it gave him and his team a bad look when they did absolutely nothing wrong. And it was this clown, Teofimo Lopez, who did it. I think it's an absolute. I think it's an absolute joke, to be completely honest. I mean, look, you can't blame Keyshawn Davis for being angry at it, rightly so. And I guess, we did have rights to think it was his opponent trying to mess with him. So, I understand Keyshawn Davis's thinking. Tio's the one to be blamed for absolutely all of this. And, Keyshawn Davis was probably right to call it out at the press conference when he did think it was Berinchyk, but it wasn't. So this gives Berinchyk a massively bad look. Teofimo Lopez basically, in a way, framed Berinchyk as a racist, which just can't be happening, to be honest. Like, he's an absolute clown, Teofimo Lopez. I feel like he did it in a way to try and promote himself, but what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you've not only messed with one person, but you've messed with two people now. You've messed with a completely innocent guy who hasn't done anything wrong in Berinchyk, and you're trying to take the piss out of Keyshawn. Like, what are you doing, Tio? What are you doing? We're going to go through everything that we've got here about the whole situation. So this is what was sent to Keyshawn Davis's room. So this was Teofimo Lopez who said this. Here's a snack for all those high jumps. Stay energized, businesswoman. And also as well, though, as I did say about possibly Keyshawn Davis trying to, not Keyshawn Davis, Teofimo Lopez trying to frame Berinchyk. At the not at the press conference, at the first face-off that Berinchyk and Keyshawn Davis had, Berinchyk actually called Keyshawn Davis businesswoman, obviously, because, about his nickname, businessman. So, Berinchyk said that, and then bloody Teofimo Lopez sent the note. So then Keyshawn Davis is thinking, oh, my opponent called me that the other day. It might have been him who sent it. So, again, I think it's just bad from Tio, and then, there's everything there. Going by, the stereotypes. And that's what Tio's done. And then at the press conference, obviously, as we know, it was called out by Keyshawn Davis.
I want to address the fact that this guy came to America to give me bananas and watermelon with a note on it. It's unprofessional, and I feel like it's racist.
Yeah, so because of this, Keyshawn Davis ended up calling Berinchyk out on live television in front of absolutely everyone, when the poor guy doesn't even know what's going on. And again, this ain't Keyshawn Davis's fault whatsoever. He, he had all the rights to think it was Berinchyk who did it. Because, Teofimo Lopez, who's got absolutely nothing to do with this fight or anything whatsoever, why would he send it? But He did. So he's got rights to think it's Berinchyk, and Keyshawn Davis did what he had to do, did what he thought was right at the time, and stood on business. Fair play. But, again, you've got to feel sorry for Berinchyk because the poor guy can't speak English. And, he wasn't able to defend himself in the right manner on TV. You've got to feel bad. You've got to feel bad. It was Alexander Krasnich who was trying to defend him on it. But obviously, again, he didn't know the whole situation. But again, the poor guy, Berinchyk, wasn't able to talk for himself and defend himself. But again, I also think as well, Berinchyk didn't want, when I think, it was translated to him, I don't really think he wanted to stay on the topic too much. He then started saying, make the weight and stuff like that. So I don't think Berinchyk wanted to go into it too much. But again, though, if he was an English speaker, he probably would have been able to defend himself on it. But yeah, I feel bad for Berinchyk, but I'm glad that things have been cleared up for his side of things. I'm glad. And as well, Keyshawn Davis did issue out an apology for going at them, but also said to the scumbag Teofimo Lopez that he's not going to be fighting him and he's not going to give Teofimo Lopez the time of day. Rightly so from Keyshawn Davis, in my opinion. I think Keyshawn Davis has gone about this very well, in my opinion, to be honest.
But I'm calmed down now. I'm calm in front of the whole entire world.
He said he was going to apologize at the weigh-in, but obviously Berinchyk shoved him.
I understand now why y'all was trying to, because y'all don't want to look racist. I understand that. And people talk to me and it made sense. Like, them Ukrainians, they respectful people at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Just like the businessman. I made that little video on Twitter.
Yeah, and then now he's talking about Tio, which is the interesting part.
No, it was smart promotion. He promoted himself very well. But I hope he get a fight off that because he ain't fighting me. I don't want to fight him. He racist. It's probably not.
Yeah, he's saying he hopes Tio gets a fight of that. He's saying he promotes himself well, but he's saying he's racist. He doesn't want to give him the time of day. Understandable. I do think we will see the Keyshawn Davis versus Tio fight, though. But from what Keyshawn's saying so far, I like how he's going. I like how he's going about it. Really calling out Teofimo Lopez for it in a nice, calm manner as well. So fair play to Keyshawn Davis. And yeah, hopefully Teofimo Lopez gets the beating he deserves because that video was cringe as hell as well. Let's have a look at it now. Because this is the most... I've never liked Teofimo Lopez. Never liked him. This just puts people off him even more. It's the most cringe video I've ever seen as well.
I'm going to address the fact that this guy came to America to give me bananas and watermelon with a note on it.
This is the most cringy thing.
It's unprofessional, and I feel like it's racist. And you just made this.
Plus, why is he eating the banana like that as well? What's he doing? Fake laugh. It's so cringe. That was just so cringe to watch. So cringe and uncomfortable to watch. Yeah, hope he gets blasted out in his next fight. But yeah, look, as I've been saying, I feel bad for, as I said, I really do feel bad for Berinchyk because obviously the poor guy did absolutely nothing. Called out on live television for it because of something that bloody Teofimo Lopez did. Let's quickly, get up, because loads of people viewed this as well. This has almost got 1 million views on the Instagram, let alone Twitter and all that. Let's have a look here. 793k views that this got. Many people, loads of bloody people know about this. It's Keyshawn Davis, pretty annoyed at what he think Berinchyk said. On the no, he's calling him a racist. And as I said, Keyshawn standing on business, doing his thing. But again, you look at other ones of these, 161k views, basically 94k views we got there. Yeah, I think it's just not a good look for Tio at all. But things are starting to get cleaned up now, of course, which is good. And yeah, let's just get right on with the Berinchyk versus Keyshawn Davis fight tomorrow night. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole situation. Thank you for watching. Speak to you in a bit.